just use tape. The best tape is masking tape. Pro Deck. It's not cheap, but
what is it? Holds this together
at least
and
like 400 psi. You don't even need to go all the way around. It's that good. That's ready to run.
there you go. Can run all the boost we like with that.
Yeah, because you get boost on the airflow side.
Yeah.
Loads of it. There you go. Right, it needs to go straight, otherwise it's ugly. Blow. Right, it's going to be a bit like that. Right, a bit like that. There's the intake pipe, all tacked up. Goes all the way over here. And the filter's just there. Ignore all this stuff because that's just temporary. Gonna make little tabs that come off and bolt onto these tabs where the bonnet pins are, and that will hold it up so it's not touching the radiator. So yeah, time to weld it. Just a little job here. Got the horns mounted up in a nice hidden location on the back of the bumper. Just drilled and tapped a couple of M8 holes in there and they just screw in. We'll put them in with thread lock when it's all done. And we'll run the wiring through this bit of metal and have a quick disconnect on the end so we can take the bumper off easily. Idle control valve bracket. That's just made out of a bit of aluminium box section, isn't it? Just chopped up. And then we put a couple of riv nuts in the firewall. And a couple of countersunk M6s. And the idle control goes on like that. Tighten her up. And there it is, all mounted up. Nice and solid. So,
we've got a pipe that goes from there into there, and then that pipe will go into this one here.
Yeah, we need to redo this, so we're going to make this so it's got a 90 coming off it because it's a bit too close to the brake lines and everything there.
Have some fun with that.
And it'll be a nice easy run straight down to it. We've got this bit sorted out, which we've been annoying us for ages. We've had a few different attempts at it. There's this nut on the back of here which did have a big nipple on it. Nipple boy! Which was for the brake booster on a V70, but as we don't have a brake booster, we're using it for our idle control valve. So as we showed you earlier, it's mounted there. We've just like chopped the nipple off the end of this nut and got a piece of pipe that's the right size for this. Cut it at 45 so it makes a really tight 90, which you can just about see there. Welded it all up, and then there you go. Neat as f. Now this bit's a little bit special. This is an air vent. You can't see what it's off on this one, but yeah, that'll be a cold air feed. I'll have a bit of hose going from there, and we've got another one here. You'll notice it's got an IKEA logo on it because it's off an IKEA lamp. Yeah, and that's our cold air feed up to here, where our air filter is. So that'll get nice cold air coming in. Yeah, magic. Just been tidying a few things up under the bonnet. So added a bit of heat wrap to the oil feed for the turbo, just because we had it lying around. It just keeps it safe. We've modified this little thing we had. We did just have this up to here. This comes from the breather box, but we changed the layout stuff since we made that. So we've added this bend on, and then this goes into this nipple which we've added onto our intake pipe here. MAF again, showed that before I think. Right colour silicone there, right colour silicone there. Also added another nipple on here just for the idle control valve. So that's all finished now. What else? Did something else. I can't remember what it was. I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah. Added this bit of ducting from those two trumpets from the IKEA lamp. So that goes through there to where the air filter is, and then this end just slips over this piece here on the bumper. It looks like that from the outside. Hal is just making a bracket for power steering reservoir. It's going to go somewhere over here. Power steering reservoir is all mounted, well, not properly, mock mounted up with a riv nut. We'll be welding a plate on there with some captive nuts on it when the engine's out. And it's an OEM, bit of an OEM Volvo pipe there. But we'll be getting it out of silicone because that looks horrible. So yeah, another thing sorted. There's not really anything left to do under here now, so we're actually going to have to tackle the wiring. So it's our new bulkhead fitting for the heater matrix. We've got an AN fitting there, and then inside the car comes through onto that completely unnecessarily painted fitting there, and then you can see the AN fittings, and then I'm going to mount the heater matrix around here somewhere, probably get some rib nuts in, cut a bit of this padding out, see what's what and whether we need any of this, because I doubt we need that. It's all extra weight savings. Yeah, we'll have a look, cut some of that out, work on that, win. So I've made a plate that will sit in there, and that will bolt in to the firewall, well, the trans tunnel I guess, and then this will mount on that like that, keeps it nicely out of the way. You can see that there's the top, we've got AN fittings up the top there that will nicely mount to that. So I've got those fittings there, and then they'll go across to the firewall there, and it will be sweet. So heater matrix is all done. It's in there. Excuse the rather convoluted pipe direction. As you can see, and go to the firewall, up round here and into there. This is purely for safety, well, safety, but you know, practical reasons. If we have to deal with any leaks in here, it's a very simple thing to get to. I want to keep it simple. I want to make it so that it's more user friendly in the long run. So the pipes are all done, heater matrix is in, and then obviously we'll have a switch wired in to the dash when we have some dash again. And I found out that you can use the switches that they use for the electric seats. So these ones here, they fit perfectly into the dash as well. So all those blank holes, we're going to use OEM Volvo switches to, you know, for all of our extra things that will need a switch. So cool. Momo Häken at once. it's now time to deal with all of this stuff.
Painkillers?
Don't need those.
We will do after this.
We need to strip off all of this insulation and pull out what we don't need, basically, and then go from there. So this is going to take ages. Ugh.
Later.
May not look like we've done anything, but we've done a lot.
Yeah, this is where we've got to after a day of playing with the wiring. It looks horrendous, but it's actually way better than it was. Labelled loads of stuff, removed tons of wiring and various bits and pieces. There was all kinds of crap for cruise control and an automatic gearbox, which this thing once had. And yeah, it's starting to look a lot more manageable now. Go over here, you'll see everything we've removed, which is all of that lot. Loads of it. All crap. So now we've got all our body wiring figured out and looking beautiful, as you can see. We need to make a bracket to mount the 850 ECU. This one's just a mock-up, but this is the right plate. So
essentially we're just going to shorten the plate down.
Oh, I don't know what I'm filming here, I'm just pointing it.
Going to cut the plate back and front because we only need the ECU slot and having all that poking out.
Nice.
Yeah.
One slim down ECU plate thing.
Whack that on the sander.
Yeah.
Pull those edges in as flat as possible and then wash.
Nice. So chop this down. We're going to use basically just this as a kind of part of the plug because it all fits into there. Let me see. Locks in nicely with that piece. And then see just there, got these little springy bits. We're going to use some aluminium box and make it into sort of U channels with a notch in, which they slot into, and somehow mount that in the car on a plate, and then this will just slide into those and slot in, and then this, when it's got all of the loom and everything attached, will just plug straight on. Tidy. Jesus, that's still warm. So, right. It's the ECU bracket made. Got a couple of little, just see them, notches there which the springs slip into. It's nice and sturdy. This is the back of it. Obligatory dimple. Gonna have 4 holes, 2 there, 2 there, and then these are going to come through the firewall, and then we've got these aluminium standoffs to space it out as much as we need it. And that is going to go, oh, it's not too hot, it's not too hot.
You're telling yourself that.
Just about see that, so there's the inside of the firewall. Got 4 holes through there, and this is going to mount up on this side. Nice and tidy. Lovely, lovely. And then the ECU just slides in. The plug will come in this way, and that'll fall down.
A few moments later.
We've got the 850 ECU mounted up there in this lovely bracket, and it should, I'm probably not going to be able to do this, nope, it should just slide out, but it's quite sturdy, so it doesn't. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. Time to make a tray for this. Mount it under the seat, make some cables, and then we're good to start doing stuff with the ECU. Now we've got all of this space. Once we remove this here, that could off as well. Probably cut a bit of this carpet out.
Yeah.
And battery will go in this little nook here, I guess. Grading gashed up. Oh, focus. This is professional upholsterer ring from Hallam, the professional upholsteringer.
Oh look, there's that wire for the aerial.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
You can get rid of all of that.
Ugh. There's a lot of... Why is it just fucking masking tape?
Because that's how they roll.
It's to cover up holes. Maybe just leave it. Not worried about that. There's a screwdriver here.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So, like that.
Perfect.
And then we'll find a nice place to on the ground too.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the battery tray. Lies in sideways like that. Goes under the seat. Hal's just making a strap for it. Which will attach there and then sort of there on the floor of the car. And there it is, all mounted in the car. There's the nut for the rear of the strap. It's going to go up, over, down, and there'll be another one there. So, battery all mounted up. Got a nice ground going through there. It's not finished yet, but it does work. It is grounded, but we will have a kill switch mounted in a secret location. Or will we? Anyway,
Okay.
there's some power there. Key on. Does it work?
Oh yeah.
The heater
Fix
works.
that. No.
Why? That's weird. Maybe it was something to do with the dodgy grounding. Horn works.
Yeah, it's the ground. It's those grounds at the front.
Oh yeah, it probably is, yeah.
Give it a good ground.
Seems good to me.
Yeah.
Seat back in. Battery fits beautifully. That's with the seat all the way back, so when it's in a normal position it'll be a bit more hidden, but still really easy to get to. First,
Jack up your car.